So, before we start the formal part of the course, I would like to discuss a few examples to motivate why we need to study about the algorithms. What is the need for the algorithms? So, if we say about algorithm, it simply says logic. It is the steps to be followed, and basically we say we use algorithms everywhere, starting from the childhood. When we learn to walk, we follow certain steps, certain instructions. Input is taken from our parents, and then we produce the result following those instructions. That is again algorithm. Then, when we learn to do mathematics, suppose addition, then a tutor taught that how to do calculation. So certain steps are being followed. That is again algorithms. So in this lecture we will be discussing about few algorithms. Few examples about algorithm uses. So let us start with the first example. Here we are taking the air travel example. We are having XYZ airline which has several cities. We are having several cities in the country, and this airline is connecting several cities. And of course, all it serves several countries doesn't really connect all the cities directly. Some of the cities may be connected through intermediate city. So for that connection between the cities, hopping flight is needed. You have to go via intermediate city in that case. In this case, we will be considering a few goals. So, our first goal may be to compute every pair of cities which are actually connected by this network served by this airline. So, how do we find all pair of cities? Let us take, we have to connect two cities A and B. So, firstly, we need to look at the network. This is typical way that we find network. For example, if we open the in-flight magazine of an airline, we will be able to find a map. And this map is written like this. You have a physical map of the country, and you have the cities which are served marked out. There are about 10 cities, ABCD cities, that may be connected through certain connection. Some of these may be in one direction, and some may be having return flights also. If you look at the airline schedules in a particular airlines, you will be able to find that there are these kind of triangular routes also. When we go along the triangle, it is being followed by a particular direction, moving from one direction to another. So suppose this is one city, this is one city, this is another city, in this direction, then in this direction, and then in this direction. So we are able to find a particular triangle, and this was our source and this is our destination. So to reach from this source to this destination, we have to follow a particular path in this case. So, our ultimate goal in this case is we have to compute every pair of cities which are actually connected by this network and served by the airline. We would like to know what is the structure of the network. If the map is not relevant, then we will not be able to find any network. Now, one nice thing about moving to a particular abstract level is the actual picture can be distorted. In this case, I am considering this point. Suppose these are few connections in this direction, in this direction, and then here we are considering in this direction. Now, suppose I do one thing over here. Suppose this I will move a particular and here this point is being here, then this edge will be moved here and we don't need this edge anymore, and in this case a network becomes easier and our graph becomes easier to understand. So these are connected destinations which are being covered by the edge, others are unconnected. If there is no edge, then that will be considered as unconnected. So this is basically implementation of graph data structure, and we will be writing algorithms, but at the same time we have to look for one more thing, that is the shortest path, to find the shortest path in this case. So shortest path algorithm is to be followed in this case. So in this case we are considering shortest path, sorry, means there may be multiple paths, so we have to look for which one is the shortest path in our case. Then we are considering scheduling algorithms. So in this example, this is known as scheduling because we are following particular schedules, and this is the application of this is example of data structure graphs, and we are using scheduling in this case. But in this case we have to consider one more point, that is complexity level. So complexity, if we want to take, suppose there are n cities which are being connected through particular edges, then these n cities raised to complexity level n, means how efficiently the algorithm works, the analysis. About the analysis part of the algorithm. So our next example is about the Xerox shop, the after airline, which was about scheduling and network using the graph. And nextly we are considering Xerox. Suppose we have a photocopy shop, campus Xerox, inside the university campus. The deadline for the project is approaching and bunch of students want their projects copied urgently. So they all have to submit their reports to the photocopying shop, and we want so many copies made within such a time. So now the question for the shop is how best to schedule this job. There may be many different ways in which the problem can be phrased. Suppose students have to submit the projects of BTech, and there is suppose tomorrow is the last date, deadline is tomorrow. They have to submit the report. It is similar to a pizza ordering. If we order pizza and we are given a particular time that the pizza will be delivered within 20 minutes or the specified time period, that is 30 minutes, and if it is not delivered in that particular time, then they offer some discount. Similarly, it is being committed by the photocopier that if pizza will not be delivered in time, that the Xerox report is not submitted well in time, then in that case uh, they will be offering certain discount. So I say consider 8 hours. If you will not get the report in 8 hours, you will pay lesser in that case. So in this time frame there are of course some bigger jobs and some smaller jobs. Some photocopies will be finished faster and some may take longer time, but at the same time they all have to run on the same machines that the Xerox shop is for. Now you can reorder things. You could take something which came later and you put it earlier on the machine and hope to finish within the deadline, because the ultimate goal is we have to complete the time within the given deadline. Therefore, not to have to give discount and something which is going to take longer and postpone it, saying anyway you are not going to meet the deadline, and give up the discount in that case right now. Suppose I am having a particular machine for doing particular type of photocopy and that is not available at any other shop, then I can say I will not be offering discount in this because you will get discount nowhere. I know, I'm aware about that. So ultimate goal is to schedule. We say there is always background but is called a group force approach, and that is not brute force approach. Basically it is implementation of the brute force approach. In this brute force approach we consider feasible solutions, means possibilities, combination of the photocopy job on multiple machine. We will choose all that is known as feasible solution, and from this of feasible solution we will choose the best one, that is the optimal solution. So we have to allocate these photocopying jobs to the machines in some order. So let me try every possible order whichever is possible, so that is the feasible in this case. And from that number of possibilities is simply exponential. In the terms of mathematics we say this is exponential. This is not simply linear in the form of n like in the previous example. In this we will be having exponential. So in this case the best to return the problem with is that with this is that it will may take large amount of time to do this because number of possibilities is exponential. Even if you have just 30 requests pending, it could take several hours to find the optimized solution, the best solution. Remember one thing, optimal simply means the best at a particular time, not always. If something is optimal at this time, this may not be optimal at other time period. Supposing we fix one job to run fast. If we fix this job to run fast, we are left to the remaining jobs that are smaller in numbers. So if there was a way that says optimally solve n jobs in 1 minute, then that is the complexity that can be calculated. So in this we can say we can decompose the problem because all the copies will not be deposited at the same time. So decompose the problem. So here we say we can split the problem into sub solutions, sub problems, sub questions. The previous question, which is that now I split again and again until we get the smallest one, that is divide and conquer strategy. And if we say we are choosing from those jobs the best one, then that is the greedy strategy, or we may go with some other designing algorithm possible which is having the least complexity. So that's why we need algorithms. In the next lecture we will be discussing about space and time complexity, that is analysis of algorithms.